What's up, boxing fans? Gilberto Torres Jr. with Torres Boxing. I hope you're having a great day, guys. And I want to go ahead and give my quick thoughts on the Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo victories from last night. Both men defended their belts. Of course, this whole WBC debacle with them promoting Canelo Alvarez to franchise champion and subsequently that making Jermall Charlo the full WBC middleweight champion. That right there is just completely crazy to me, to be honest with you guys. I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm gonna be honest with what I think, my thoughts. You know, that whole move by the WBC to make Canelo Alvarez their first ever franchise champion just blows me away. And I think it's a blatant political move, blatant favoritism on behalf of the World Boxing Council. Now, I personally believe that the WBC is the most, if not one of the most prestigious world titles in boxing today. And I feel like a move like this kind of doesn't really take away from that, but it's not a good look in my opinion. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna save that topic for another video. Right now, I just want to give my quick thoughts. Right from the get-go, guys, I didn't see these fights live. Unfortunately, I missed them. I was tied up. I won't say unfortunately because I was at church and we were having a study, which I thought was very interesting. And don't want to say unfortunately because God's first. And I know that sometimes we don't sometimes want to do those things, but it's for our own good. So fortunately, I was in church, which meant that I wasn't able to see these fights live. I, read about them. So I just want to kind of give my thoughts on them. I am going to watch them later tonight. Right now, I didn't want to really watch them right now because I've been busy all afternoon. Right now, I'm heading over to go shoot some hoops, get some exercise in before the sun sets. But anyways, guys, I want to just give my quick thoughts on the victories and what this means for both fighters and the middleweight division in particular. So let's start off with Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade had a tougher opponent than Jermall Charlo, in my opinion. He had, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Maciek Sulecki. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry, guys. I'll look it up. But Maciek Sulecki, I'll refer to him by his last name, Sulecki. Very durable guy. I know that Maciek Sulecki, I saw him when he fought Danny Jacobs. And that was a fight where Danny Jacobs was really kind of getting back on that comeback trail after losing the Triple G. This was last year, April. And it was a fight that Danny Jacobs didn't look that good in. It was a fight where Danny Jacobs was supposed to look better than what he did. Maybe even stop Sulecki. Because it was all building up in anticipation of a bigger fight. Possibly with Canelo, which, that's the fight that ended up happening. Or a rematch with Golovkin. But Danny Jacobs didn't look all that good. And he wasn't able to put away Sulecki. Sulecki, for me, that fight that I saw from him proved to me to be a durable fighter. Guy that gets in there and has no let up. He's not going to give up. And that's why I thought coming into this fight with Demetrius Andrade that Sulecki was probably going to offer Andrade the stiffest challenge that he's had to date. And that's what happened. I know that Andrade was talking about, he's going to knock out Sulecki. And a lot of that, I know it's hype to promote the fight. But he wasn't able to do that. The fight went the distance. But from what I read, Demetrius Andrade did what he had to do. And he looked good. He looked good. And wasn't able to take out Sulecki. Of course, like I've mentioned already, he is a durable fighter. So that's not a knock on Andrade. That just comes to show that Sulecki's a tough guy. But even then, Andrade looked good in doing. This is from what I read, of course. He looked good. He got a clear unanimous decision over Sulecki, and now he's calling out Canelo and Triple G. I saw the clip when they were interviewing him, and he said, "I fought Sulecki. He's a tough guy." I'm paraphrasing here. he's not a Rocky Fielding. He's not a Steve Rolls. I want Canelo. Come on, Canelo, let's get it on. So he's firing shots, calling out Triple G and Canelo for taking soft touches, and he's saying he wants those fights. And for me, that's cool, because there was a time there with Andrade, you heard about him, but you didn't see him. And that's because he had a string of inactivity. But now he's been active. This is his third fight in 8 months. And now he's calling out the big names. And I like that, because hopefully we get those fights. I think Andrade, when his previous fight before this one, and when he fought Artur Akavov, that was a fight where you could really see that Andrade was a level above the type of fighters that he's been fighting. You can tell that he has more to give, that he deserves to be amongst the top of the middleweight division. And that's why I'm interested in now seeing him face those guys. I'm interested in seeing him versus Canelo. I'm interested in seeing him face Triple G and Charlo or Danny Jacobs, because Danny Jacobs is still there. Didn't look all that bad when he fought Canelo. So Andrade is proving his case that he is one of the best middleweights out there today. So hopefully we get to see him in some of those bigger fights up next. I don't know if it'll happen next. Canelo clearly doesn't want, if he wants to unify, because at one point Canelo was saying he wanted to become undisputed middleweight champion. But this whole thing now that he's franchise champion and Charlo's the full WBC middleweight champion, I don't know if he still has it in his mind that he wants to become undisputed, or at least anytime soon. So I'm not sure if an Andrade Canelo fight is feasible, at least not next. But what I can see happening, if Canelo goes a different route, let's say he doesn't fight Triple G, let's say he goes after Callum Smith or even a Kovalev fight, I can envision a fight between Demetrius Andrade and Gennady Golovkin. For me, that's a good fight. I think it's a good fight that will either keep Andrade, add another name to his resume, a big name, keep the title on his waist, or Triple G can capture a middleweight world championship and then build up to the trilogy fight with Canelo. So interesting fights that are available right now in the middleweight division. And for Andrade, he picks up a solid win over a very durable fighter in Sulecki. And on to Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo was fighting Brandon Adams. Now, Brandon Adams, of course, coming into this fight as the underdog. I don't know much about him, but I saw some certain rounds. Look, this is the fight that I kind of saw a little bit of live action in. And he was good. He was good while the fight went on. I think it was about round 6-7 that I was watching, and he was landing some good left hands on Jermall Charlo. And Jermall Charlo actually got scolded by his corner and was told, "You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to get that knockout." And that's one thing that I think he's gonna have to work on. I think he's gonna have to wind down a little bit. And box, box a little bit, and then those knockouts will come. Jermall Charlo has proven that he has knockout power. He has a 72% knockout ratio. 21 of his 29 victories have been within the distance. So this man can crack. This man does have power. But I think yesterday, especially because he was in his hometown, I think he was really trying to impress, and it backfired on him because his opponent, Brandon Adams, showed resiliency. He showed durability, and he wasn't going to get out of there like that. So those are just little things here and there that Jermall Charlo, I'm sure, will be told by his corner to work on, and I'm sure he'll work on it. And so same deal as with Andrade. He's got big fights in line now. Could he fight Triple G? Could he fight Canelo? Could he fight Demetrius Andrade or Danny Jacobs? These are all big fights in the middleweight division. But one thing right now that is a complete barrier for Charlo is the fact that he's fighting on PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, while the other big middleweights are on DAZN. So that's going to be a big hurdle to get over because, of course, promotional ties, network ties, always make some of these fights impossible to make, if not very difficult. So hopefully we get him now. So I like Charlo because he's being promoted right. I like the promotional videos that I saw from Showtime, from Fox. from PBC. You know, a lot of good stuff from him. The whole, you know, Lions only thing being incorporated into his promo. It's very interesting. I think he's really getting that star treatment, and now you know, he's a WBC full middleweight champion, but it didn't really come the way that you would want him to obtain it. He was just elevated to the full status. So hopefully he gets one of these big names up next, so that he can also solidify himself as that champion. And for the naysayers that are saying, oh, he's all talk, he's all hype, he really didn't win that championship, you know, a victory over a big name in the middleweight division would help to kind of get rid of that criticism. Obviously, you're always going to have detractors, you're always going to have critics, but at least a good win over a big name would erase some of that doubt, would erase some of that criticism coming his way. Because I'll be honest, he didn't really earn that belt. You know, you see him with the belt, you see him, and I'm not saying that he didn't earn it in a sense that he you know, I'm not trying to imply that he's not worthy of that belt, that he can't win it, because I do think that he does have the resources, the tools to be able to win that world championship against another world champion. But the fact of the matter is that he was elevated to that status. And like I said, I know that he's been interim champion for a hot minute now, but at the same time, he didn't defeat a world champion to get the title. So that's why I think that it would be important for him to get a solid victory over a big name in the middleweight division. So let's hope. It's going to be a little bit tougher for him to get those fights than it is for Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade is on the zone, of course, with those other big names. So we'll see what happens, guys. But those are just some of my quick thoughts right now on those fights from last night. I'll talk a little bit about the whole situation with Canelo being elevated to franchise champion in another video. Right now, I just wanted to kind of give my quick thoughts on these two fights. So let me know what you guys think on the comment section, guys. Go ahead and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Hit the bell icon, give it a thumbs up, and until next time, guys, God bless you and have a great rest of your day.